Hey guys, Drutter here. It's June 11th, 2018, and as you know, Trudeau and the Liberals were elected in 2015 to, quote, legalize cannabis here in Canada, and that hasn't gone exactly as planned. And as legalization approaches here in the next few months, the latter half of the year here in 2018, I'm looking at the fact that in BC we aren't going to be allowed to grow, sell, or even own cannabis unless it's grown and sold by the government. And you have to have a license to participate in any part of growing, selling, etc. It's becoming extremely controlled and extremely illegal to operate outside the regime of the government's control. And essentially the government and a few of their friends are taking control of the market in Canada, which has been in place for I don't know how long, a long time, generations. And they're coming in and taking essentially a monopolization of the industry and a criminalization of their competition, which is the free market that currently exists. And it's $1 billion industry, many billions of dollars, even just here in BC. So it's not really going to go well. And I thought I would record my thoughts on it, and I'd like you to listen to what I have to say about it. Because we have coming in now here in the latter half of 2018, millions of people are now legally allowed by their government to own and use this plant, at least in a limited fashion. We also have a situation where people in the same parts of the world and in other parts of the world are in jail for doing so. In jail. People losing their lives, people losing their families, their jobs, everything that they've worked hard for in their lives. Imagine if that was you for a plant. The drug war is an absolute failure. It is ruining lives, it's costing us all huge amounts of resources, and it's totally ineffective. All it does is drive up the price and create gangs and violence. Is legalization the answer? No, legalization is not the answer. Legalization is code for control. It's just the government taking control of something. You know, they've already legalized other things. There's so many things that are legalized, we just don't call it that anymore. Like alcohol. It was legalized in the 1930s and 40s after prohibition. And how's that working out for us? Are we more free now that it's been legalized? No. Legalization just provides taxes for the government. It just makes the government bigger, more powerful, and gives them more control over us. We don't want legalization. We want freedom. We don't need to legalize cauliflower and broccoli. Why don't we legalize those too? Those don't need to be legalized because they were never illegalized. Just as cannabis should never have been illegalized. Anyone who supports the way things are, the status quo, and the drug war has got to go. I'm tired of people's lives being ruined on this war that does not work and never will work. I'm tired of people spending their lives in prison for something they did that didn't hurt anyone. And I'm tired of anyone who supports it. The war on drugs is over. The propaganda's not working as well anymore. People are starting to figure things out. The internet is changing the game. People are tired of this. It's not working. It never has worked, and it never will work. We're just locking up people and destroying lives at the cost of everyone's resources for absolutely no useful benefit. No one is being harmed by this plant. Not the people who use it, not the people who buy it, not the people who sell it, not the people who grow it. I'm not going to stand for prohibition anymore. I want freedom for this plant, and I want it now, and I'm going to treat this plant as though it is free. There is no legitimate prohibition against cannabis in Canada. I say, free all of the drug offenders in prison, every single last one of them. They're not offenders, they're not criminals. You've made something that's not a crime into a crime so you can call people criminals and lock them up. They did nothing to harm anyone, and I want them released from jail now and free this incredible, healing, peaceful plant. I say, end prohibition, end legalization. All we really need is liberty. What did you think of that? Pretty good message, right? I think it's an important message, actually, and I think it would have been really nice to have got that message out even just a few years ago, just even a couple years ago, because even now, I mean, a lot of people don't know that this is what legalization is going to be, but to have this message even a year or two ago would have perhaps changed the course of history or saved a lot of lives, or both. But, you know, I found a way, actually, just one time, to send a video back in time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it on that message that I just recorded. And I'm going to send it back about 5 years. So that should be long before Trudeau was even, elected or even campaigning or anything. It's going to be, say, the beginning of 2014. Let's do it 4.5 years ago, okay? And I will put this message on my YouTube channel in video. And when I get the link for that, as soon as I'm done recording this and uploading this video for you guys, I'll get the link for that special time-traveling video, and I'll put it down below so you can check it out. I'm sending this exact message back almost 5 years to warn Canadians about the legalization, the legal lies that we're going to be told, the people that we're going to be hurt, and the people that are going to suffer and die because of continued prohibition of cannabis, which saves lives. And the injustice is just so great that I feel this message has to be sent back in time. Thank you for supporting my message and for this channel, and thank you for spreading it and helping us to get the message out that legalization actually is going to hurt a lot of people here in Canada, and cannabis is saving a lot of lives and helping a lot of people. And when they legalize, they're really just legalizing for themselves to sell to us poisoned, irradiated cannabis that really has no business being sold to anyone or being used for anything. And the black market, which is formerly known as the free market, is the proper source of cannabis. It can be grown very easily and very safely and very cheaply without prohibition, and no one needs to go to jail. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll talk to you soon.